river flows to the eastern Mediterranean. One thought: to feed the whole Mediterranean. An ancient name of Orontes, as if to separate two brothers, enters to the centre of Antakya, flows, meanders, irrigates. And the sea gets up to dance, and the sea lets itself go with the halai, and it is as if there is a wedding in the sea. St. Paul, 2,000 years ago, at the Seleucia Pera port, visited here, right here. It was the pagans, and later the Jews, who inhabited the Silita Antakya, established by Seleucus I in the foothills of Mount Silpius, which was also carved into a rock and covered with cut stone. With the arrival of St. Paul here, the first services of the religion they named Christianity started to take place here. This church, named after the founder and first bishop of the Antakya Church, St. Peter or Pierre, is a pilgrimage site for the Christian world. The cave, at a depth of 9.5 metres and a height of 7 metres, is considered the first cathedral of the world, as the first Christians of Antakya started meeting here. The Bible by St. Matthew that mentions St. Pierre has undoubtedly been written in Antakya. Each Sunday and religious holiday sees a service being performed at St. Pierre Church, one of the first pilgrim sites of the Catholic world. The church also hosts such ceremonies as weddings. One of the three largest cities of the world in the Hellenistic era, Seleucia Antakya, Antiochus Soter, who took the throne after the death of his father, Seleucus I, made the city a capital city between 280 and 261 BC, after Seleucia Pera, which in turn transformed it into a globally prominent cultural and economic city. Julius Caesar, who entered through the gates of the city in 47 BC, and Antonius and the Queen of Egypt Cleopatra in 37 BC, gave the city recognition. The embossings of Mother Nature and Charon, the ferryman to hell, were built by Antiochus IV, with the belief that they would help protect against epidemics and be visible in the city. According to Anatolian mythology, the god of all gods, Zeus's son Apollo, fell in love with a beautiful nymph named Daphne and followed her in order to have her. Having devoted herself to Mother Gaia, Daphne asks her for help in getting rid of Apollo. The goddess grants the wish of Daphne and turns her into a bay leaf. Since Apollo was heartbroken at the incident, he picks a leaf from the bay tree and places it on his head. From that day onwards, it became tradition in the Roman Empire to wear a bay leaf on the head. Rich Romans from Antakya had villas built here in order to live their love in this heavenly location. Floor and wall mosaics discovered in the digs in Harbiye were smuggled to Princeton and Baltimore Art Universities in the USA, the French Louvre Museum and Worcester Art Museum. Despite all this looting, Antakya Mosaic Museum continues to be the second largest museum in the world. Mosaics on display at the museum date back to the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD. Carved by Hittite and Roman sculptures, these lion sculptures proves that lions roamed around Anatolia at the time. This is the Samanda town of Antakya that hosts many different cultures. The tunnel, whose construction started in 69 AD by Emperor Vespasianus and finished by his son Titus in 81 AD, in order to save the ancient port of Seleucia Pera from floodwaters and to protect the city of Pera from floods, is now known as Titus Vespasianus. The tunnel is 1,380 metres long, 7 metres high and 6 metres wide. It is also one of the rare tunnels dug by people using their bare hands. There is a single arch bridge with cut stones near the tunnel, making the cemeteries accessible. Romans, because of their belief of the afterlife, paid great attention to cemetery culture. They would carve out rooms in rock that looked like their homes, and place the valuables of the deceased along with the body in there. After all, the deceased might need the valuables when he woke up on the other side. Within this tomb, carved in a rock called Cradle Cave, is the grave of an important person. That is why it is called Cradle Grave. St. Paul, when he came to Antakya from Pera port, where he was undocked in the mid-1st century, started to spread the beliefs of the prophet Jesus Christ. He started to work from one end of Anatolia to the other, reaching Macedonia and Rome after leaving the ancient city of Assos. These beliefs that he was trying to spread so much were adopted 280 years later by Emperor Constantine in 330 AD, when Christianity was therefore ruled as the official religion of the Roman Empire. It started to spread, and the foundations of the first church were laid. One of the believers of the new religion, Antakya's Saint Simeon, is said to have tortured himself for the religion by chaining himself to a rock on a mountain near the city of Pera. Those following in his footsteps built a monastery and church around the stalagmite and accepted it as a holy site. These remains are now called the St. Simeon Monastery, dating from the 4th century AD, were damaged in the earthquakes of 526 and 528 AD in Antakya. Like the warm interaction of two people holding hands, the single arch Rome bridge continues to unite loves by bridging gaps like two cufflinks. No matter what belief they are from, no matter what they think, anyone can pass through it freely to reach the Holy Lands. And that bridge reaches the road on it to a village, a place where a sycamore grows, a place where a sycamore lays root. It sheds its leaves every autumn. It releases its leaves every spring. One might think it grew a bit more. One might think its head has reached the clouds. This sycamore is the village's life. Hidr village doesn't have mercy on its life, burns it away. When they see the sycamore burning inside out, the people of Hidr say, "This is a guest sycamore in our village. That sycamore has been stepping on the ground for 2,000 years. That sycamore is a turning point in Anatolia. That sycamore is of the same age as St. Paul today. That sycamore is the length of the shadow of 2,000 years." And that bridge gives way to another village, and that road is a shadow in these quiet cemeteries, and the vicious wind melts away in infinite silence. This is a village in the city of Hatay. It is the cute neighbour of Hıdırbey village, the heavenly corner for our Armenian villagers. It is Vakiv Koyu, staying alive with belief and making holy belief stay alive. Antakya's oldest mosque, Ulu Mosque, is known to have been constructed at the time of the Memluk princedom. Just like the colourful interactions of the region, the mosaic of belief is represented at Antakya's Habib Necar Mosque.
Senin cemalin görmeyen meydan aşık Yunus seni ister lütfeyle.
This mosque started off as a shrine before being converted into a church, which was later converted into a mosque. The structure reflects the complementing and continuation qualities of consecutive religion.
Cemalin gören aşıklar ebedi ölmez Allah.
Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah.
The easy spread of Christianity in Antakya was because the Jewish population of the city had formed a tight bond, and they were friendly towards those who were not Jewish. The Greek Orthodox Church is described to be the most beautiful of all Eastern Orthodox churches. It is the oldest church to be constructed outside of Jerusalem. The church, whose construction started in 1860, was rebuilt after being demolished in the 1872 earthquake. Sultan Abdulhamid ordered extreme religious folk not to bother Greek Orthodox citizens, therefore placing Christians under protection.
Ümit ederim ki dünyadaki şu anda insanlığın ayıbı olan savaşlar biter ve bütün dünya Antakya'daki yaşayan üç semavi dine mensup insanlar gibi yaşarlar.
Bu güzelim Antakya'da üç semavi dinin ve ona bağlı olan mezheplerin hep bir arada yaşaması, hep bir arada kardeşçe hayatlarını idame ettirmesi bence Türkiye'ye ve de dünyaya örnek olacak şehirdir.
The first sculpture workshop opened during the times of the Hittite Emperor Shupiluma I between 1375 and 1335 BC, is now located in Gaziantep's Yesemek village. The sculpture workshop, with more than 300 sphinxes, lions and a variety of creatures, along with holy sculptures, is a beauty worth seeing. This place is called a Greek castle. It was inhabited by the Assyrians, Medes, Persians, Romans and Arabs starting from the 9th century BC. One of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ, Johannes, turned the Greek castle into his centre in the Roman times of the 1st century AD, while spreading Christianity to locations close by. Moreover, the fact that Johannes' tomb is here means that the Greek castle is a holy site. The dig location, where Zeugma mosaics are found. Gaziantep is a city of the Holy Lands, stretching from Hatay to Mardin. It is a city where handcrafts are made under precious eyes through much sweat. Mosaics dug from the Zeugma dig zone are on display at the Gaziantep Museum. Found on the walls and the grounds of the villas constructed by rich Romans on the shores of the Euphrates, these mosaics are very popular among visitors. The handshake, the first symbol of friendship in the world, was between mortal King Antiochus I and immortal god Apollo, showcasing divinity. And the City of Prophets, Şanlıurfa. A museum city continues to exist in the center of the Holy Lands. Prophet Ibrahim was born here. Prophet Ayub lived here. Prophet Jesus Christ blessed this place. One says, Nemrud threw the Prophet Ibrahim into the fire from here. One says, Nemrud's daughter, Zeliha, jumped into the fire after the Prophet Ibrahim here. One says, burning logs turned into fish, burning fires sunk into water. Holy lake, holy fish. No one can strip down and enter the lake. No one can eat the fish. This is a holy city. This is Rizvaniye Mosque. These are holy lands. Halil-ur-Rahman Mosque is made up of the unity of a madrasa, cemetery, and the location accepted as where the Prophet Ibrahim was thrown into the fire. Having the outlook of a Middle Eastern city with its old streets, Şanlıurfa can adapt to the current times, while staying true to its holy traditions. One of the inns visited by the locals and those coming from towns and villages nearby, Gümrük Inn, is living through another active day. The taste of a cup of dark tea is equal to the enjoyment from a game. While Şanlıurfa Museum displays the cultural properties of this holy site to the visitors, it also shines as a light to the historical texture of the city. Works from before and after Christ stand side by side to tell their historic stories. The white of cotton is the colour of honesty, and its softness is the sign of tolerance. Dating back to the 2000s BC, Harran was the centre of science as it was of culture. The digs of Dr. Nurettin Yardımcı uncovered Harran Ulu Mosque, as well as the remains of the university. The crown door of Harran Ulu Mosque stands with all its glory. The foundations of the mosque were excavated along with its entire plan. Harran means Harunapak. Pak is a camel is a hump is water is freshness. That's what the Harran houses with these humps mean. This typical home architecture that seems interesting to the travellers keep their qualities and still welcome guests as places of residence. One of Harran's important structures is the Citadel. Traveller Ibn Jubayr spoke of a madrasa and 2 hospitals in Harran. In 2000 BC, people prayed to the sun and moon gods in Harran, write the Hittite tablets. Roads leading across the Holy Lands eventually reach the caves of Bazda or Bozda, known to be artificial. The stone caves, where the stones for Harran, the city of Shu'ab, and Han el-Baru were used, have mesmerizing structures. On the same road, along the rocky path, one can find the Han el-Baru Caravanserai memorial structure, standing strong with its perfect walls. The Yolgechin Inn, constructed by Isa's son, El-Hajj Husameddin Ali, during the reign of Seljuk Sultan Alaaddin Keykubat in 1299, undergoes restorations at all times. Known to be Prophet Shuaib's headquarters and a Roman town, the city of Shuaib is on the same road. People of the region believe that the Prophet Shuaib lived in the city and named it the city of Shuaib. The cave, known to be Prophet Shuaib's headquarters, receives many visitors in a year. This Roman town, built on many rock tombs, was constructed using stones from a Balsat stone mine. In the city, where many of the walls built with cut stone are demolished, some walls of some structures are seen to remain standing. Having been used as residential areas in the 1st and 2nd centuries AD, Soimata can also be considered as the center of Sabaism, emerging in the 7th century. This is a place where stars symbolizing angels are accepted as gods. It is also where shrines constructed with embossings of stars can be seen. The fact that they considered stars holy was conducive to them increasing their knowledge of astronomy. Sabaism continues to live to this day, with praying to the angels, stars and the sun. The rock cave tomb in Viranshehir Hanefish village is seen as a holy site for the Parsi belief. The Yazidi faith, that includes the belief and prayers of Persian prophet Parsi from the 6th century BC, was founded by Sheikh Adi bin Musafir of the Emevis. The Yazidi faith also has in it Manichaism, Judaism, Nestorianism and Islam. The holy book of the Yazidi faith is called the Black Book, for the devil is said to have been pardoned. The creation explanations in these books make up the foundation of religious thought today. According to the Black Book, God just created the world, but didn't interfere in its administration. A cute city found on holy lands, and one that is in the list of World Heritage, Mardin. A city that wakes up to beauty all around in order to live a beautiful day. Mardin. One of the historic structures of this city is the Casa Mia Madrasa. The madrasa's construction started during the time of the Orthodox and was finished at the end of the 15th century during the time of the Akyuns, Emperor Jahangir's son, Qasim Pasha. This structure, that's a beauty in itself, is still standing today. The sounds of cries and wishes being yelled into the sky from the Assyrian Kirkla church fill up the hearts of the believers before they fill up the domes. These people, who have lived in the same belief structure for centuries, get a taste of happiness and solidarity. The side-by-side construction of churches and mosques resemble the beauty of flowers in a vase, making up a bouquet of beliefs.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Say, We believe in Allah and in what has been sent down to us, and what was sent down to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and what was given to Moses, Jesus, and the prophets from their Lord. We make no distinction between one another among them, and to him we have submitted. Let there arise out of you a group of people inviting to all that is good, enjoining Islamic monotheism and all that Islam orders one to do, and forbidding disbelief, and it is they who are successful. And be not as those who divide and differ among themselves after clear proof had come to them. It is they for whom there is an awful torment.
صدق الله العظيم.
The Zen Juliet Madrassa, where the Hanafis and Shafis pray together, shows the importance of being in unity. The beauty of the structure, surrounded by the yellow of the sun in Mardin, is enough to give one pleasure and joy. Zen Juliet Madrasa was constructed by Melik Nejmeddin Isa of the Orthodox in 1385. Another structure on the Holy Lands is the Darul Zafar Monastery. This magnificent structure, constructed on the cliffs of Upper Mesopotamia, was the headquarters of the Assyrian Patriarch for a long time. Religions emerged among the Holy Lands of different faiths. They were fed by the same sunlight and bore fruits together.
Eğer dünyadaki insanlar gerçekten o barışı, huzuru, güzelliği yaşamak isterlerse Mardin'e gelsinler ve Mardin'i örnek olarak kendilerine alsınlar.
The intertwining of bell sounds with the azan is one of the unique qualities of the region.